Good evening to you all, and to all you who are here who aren't candidates. Well done. I am running for county commissioner. I am not endorsed, and I think it's fine to be endorsed. I would love to be endorsed one time with no opponent, but I happen to believe that it's in the spring when we energize voters. It seems to me that we're missing such an opportunity when party officials just say, okay, you and you're the candidates. Now, you voters, we've picked the candidates. You just go sit around, and we'll call you in November when we really need you. That's lunacy. It's a sign of strength when a party can bring a number of candidates for a position, and let's let them talk and hear each other. And I commend the kitchen table patriots for what you all do. You call me, I'll show up. It's just that simple. It's a wonderful organization. And by the way, if you got an opportunity Monday afternoon, you go with the kitchen table cabinet. They're going to be here again talking about a state issue about reforming the General Assembly. It's a great thing, and I commend you for doing it. County commissioners, Bucks County, our 13-year resident from Montgomery County, Maryland, may think that 600,000 people in Bucks County, we don't quite measure up to Montgomery County, Maryland, but we're close. By the way, you got our past chief, our warden, Art Wallenstein is in Montgomery County. That's good. We must, as Republicans, field the strongest team possible in November. That's what our goal is in the spring, to pick candidates that can stand up to our opponents and present voters in the county with real, legitimate choices. I am delighted to be a candidate. I don't believe that a primary election should be a coronation. I believe it ought to be a debate, and that's why I'm here. And I think that our opponents have already told us. They've already told us what their campaign is. They've got a number of issues. I'm going to go three of them right now. The District Justice Center, which if you don't think that is going to have an impact on this community, you got another thing coming. The largest public works project in the history of this county, right here in the center of the county seat. We need someone who has experience overseeing $100 million construction projects. I humbly submit to you that from my time at PennDOT, overseeing hundreds of millions of dollars of highway and bridge improvements, I have dealt with contractors, and the biggest thing that is missed, in my opinion, in a construction project is not communicating with the people it impacts. When I'm a commissioner, we're going to have the contractor in the room 3 times a year, the spring, the summer, and the fall. In the spring, with the public present, the media present, and the commissioners present, we're going to ask the contractor, what are you going to do during the construction season? We're going to bring him back in the summer and say, what are you doing during the construction season? Are you still on schedule? And in the fall, we're going to bring him back and say, what did you do? So we have the update. That's so very important. Another issue that you're going to hear about is the county budget. Everybody says we got to cut taxes, cut taxes. I agree with that. We got $463 million budget in Bucks County, but 70% of it is social services from the federal and state government or corrections, which really we can't cut. When you talk about cutting county taxes, you're talking about $115,000. Now, I mean $1 million. Now, for the last 4 or 5 years, there has been no tax increase in Bucks County, and that's a good thing. I commend the Board of Commissioners for that. But we must ask the second question. And the second question is, how'd you do it? And the way we did it was we took money from our savings. And we started in 2008 with savings of a rainy day fund of $73 million. The next year it dropped down to $63 million. The next year it dropped down to $60 million. Last year it's $55 million. You must have a 10% rainy day fund in order to keep a triple-rated bond issue. If nothing happens, in the state as far as funding is concerned, and we have to take the $8 million this year, we're not going to have the money. That's what the Democrats are going to be saying. That's what they're talking about. And I contend the way to do that is not nibble around the edges with correction cars that have 400 miles on them in a year. Granted, they ought to go away, but we need a commissioner-sponsored, citizen-supported government study commission to look at the way Bucks County government is regulated. We are working in the 21st century under regulations that were created during the Civil War. It is long past time that this county looked at the way we are governed, and the people that are in those rooms and on that television right now are the ones that ought to do it, and the commissioners ought to support it. And the third point and final point in my 5 minutes is I served as a commissioner 16 years ago, and I served for 16 years. So I look at that and say, well, I've got sort of the best or the worst, depending on where you look at it, of all worlds. I've got 16 years experience as a county commissioner, but it was 16 years ago. And in that 16-year times, I've had experiences with PennDOT, with PENJERDEL, as a borough manager, so I can come back as a new face, if you will, with fresh ideas, but with 16 years experience. When I was there, one of the things that I was proudest of was the communication with the voters and the people who paid our salary and what we did. There is an issue that many people scoff at me for bringing up, but to me it's a real issue. When you walk to the 5th floor of the courthouse, there is a door leading to the commissioner's office. That door is locked. That has become, in my opinion, a tangible and perceptual barrier between the elected people and the people who are employed at the county and the people who elected them. That door must come down, and because it is a barrier, and government should be open and response. If you are a Republican voter in Bucks County, you've got 2 votes for Bucks County Commissioner. I'm asking for one of them. I love the job, and I love this county, and I love the kitchen table patriots because you all give us a chance to talk. Thank you all very much.